Today we are back in black checking facts. Last week I was installing the latest firmware on my NUX MG30, this small budget-friendly modeling unit, and it came with a bunch of new pedals. I was updating my preset pack for that unit, by the way, so if you like my tones, you can get my preset packs by contacting me on Facebook or Instagram. You find the links in the description below. I offer preset packs with mostly high-gain rock tones for all the modeling units on the market. And of course, please consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. So here's the editor. And today I would like to check out the new pedals. So here we have one preset which I made for my preset pack. So the tube screamer was already included in the previous firmwares, but I will start with that and then we will switch to the new pedals, then we have a comparison. And I think here the last 5 pedals are new, so we will start with the full-tone OD HP. Or let's check out. Okay, the red fuzz doesn't have the image mark, so I assume this is the first new one. Not quite sure about that. So this is, I think, a full-tone OCD. Has way more gain than the tube screamer. So if you would like to get a more saturated tone out by using the pedal, why is it switching always back the volume? Then maybe this is a better choice. So in other words, if you need more gain coming from the pedal. Not switch to the high pass mode here. It's always resetting the volume. It doesn't reset it, I think, but it's just moving in the editor. Maybe it's a bug. Okay. Yeah, tons of gain. Overall darker sounding than the tube screamer in my opinion. So from what I hear when using the OCD models, that they're boosting a little bit more lower mids, as the tube screamer typically is boosting the signal around maybe 800 Hertz, and this one maybe, I would say around maybe 400. Which is not a good or bad thing, it depends on what you need and what your guitar needs. I don't know if you can hear it. What I appreciate by these pedals is that they cut the lows and the highs, so in other words they're boosting just the mid-range, and therefore you get rid of the scratchiness coming from the pickups, especially these Roosevelt pickups. You can hear that if you're playing like these palm mutes on the higher strings. And of course this pedal does it also. Yeah, nice. Good addition. Horseman OD. I don't know what that is. I think here it's quite obvious that the so-called treble knob is changing the overall spectrum that is boosted. And here we have these percussive frequencies, as I like to call it, these stretchiness. If you are maybe a legato player and you would like to have less effort coming from your fingers and pushing the strings, you can raise that. But if you're more like me, a player who tends to hit every note, if you do this, you have to play very precise, otherwise you will create some scratch noises. And the next one. Nope. Nope. What is that? Doesn't do that much with the driving zero. So, yeah, let's set everything to 5. Unfortunately, it doesn't go to 11. Okay. This one doesn't do the job as well as the others if you want like to boost this PVM. My opinion. Might be better if you use it in front of an Lexi or an AC30. We can check that out later. But first of all, I will go through all the pedals here. And I cannot change the stack combo here. Also very percussive. Doesn't sound bad at all to me. If we disengage it, can we do this here? Oh, it switched to the... I hate this. If you click it too fast, then it's switching to the compressor settings. I hope they get rid of that in the new MG50, which I don't own. I'm planning to get one. Yeah, it works. Not my favorite result, I must say. I think we have to check these out with some other amps. And the Turbo OD, which was first I thought it's the Boss ST1, but then I checked the documentation and it's obviously the Boss OD2, I think. It sounds good in this implementation. I compared it to my original ST1. There is difference. It has another sound characteristic than the ST1. Maybe that's the case with the original OD2 or Turbo OD. Obviously, these are two different pedals, the ST1 and the OD2. So I assume that they sound there is a sound difference. I've never played the OD2, so I'm just guessing now. I like that boss pedal here. In my opinion, these boss pedals, at least the SD1, it sounds a little bit more tamed and not that well, muddy, if that's a word, compared to a tube screamer. Therefore, in most cases, with most of my analog amps, I prefer the SD1 over the tube screamer. Slightly prefer, I must say. So if anybody has any experience with the OD2, if it's worth getting one, or should I rather get another SD1, please leave a comment below. I'd be interested in that. Okay, these are the new pedals, I think. Finally, we can check out some of the pedals with the GE30. This has too much of that around 3K frequencies. It sounds pretty nasty to me. Let's check that out with the recto. Yeah. It's not that great sounding, that pedal, I must say. But I'm curious how the full-tone OD sounds with the recto. The thing with the recto is it has lots of lower mids, so initially I wouldn't choose the full-tone OD. But here it doesn't sound that bad, even when the tone control is dialed back. And initially I was using this. You hear that? It's kind of a phasing issue that the tube screen creates. I must say I had quite a hard time to get a good tone out of the recto model here, and but I hope you can hear it with the turbo OD. You don't have that phasing issue. At least not that pronounced like with the tube screamer. It's always, you always have to find the right combination between the pedal and the cab and the amp settings. And I must say this unit can sound great, but it also can sound like shit. That said, the effects quality is much better in my opinion than on some of the other units in that price region, around 200 or 300 euro. For example, here the chorus. Chorus is always a thing which I found lacking on cheap Chinese modeling units. But this one has a decent one. Also comes with the proper stereo delay. And also the reverb. It was already engaged, sorry. And if you're following my channel, you know that I like to have a dark reverb, at least when playing at home. And the trick is to cut the highs, and then you have just to adjust the mix usually. And therefore, fortunately, this does the job here because the reverb sounds good, but it also has two knobs, one for the mix and one for cutting the highs. So yeah. And of course you have other reverbs here, the hall in the room. They're also very usable in my opinion, and a shimmer reverb, which is pretty nice. I think I created a shimmer preset here that is coming with my preset pack. And as you can hear, with a single coil in the neck position, sounds pretty nice in my opinion. But that's it for today. I hope you got an impression. Great little unit. And hopefully I will get my hands on the MG50 soon. Please consider subscribing to my channel. See you.